Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Dear students, welcome to you all in the virtual learning system, Pakistan International School, Taif. Dear students, this is grade 12, subject Pakistan Culture and Urdu, chapter number 4, Arts and Literature. Today we will study the topics poetry and drama. This is 13th lecture and I am Muhammad Yunus, your subject teacher. Dear students, poetry. First of all, you must know what is meant by poetry or what is the definition of the poetry. Literary work in which the expression of feelings and ideas is given intensity by the use of distinctive style and rhythm. Poems, collectively or as a genre of literature, is called poetry. Simply, we can say the method or the way to express their feeling in the form of verses, that is a poetry. Dear students, after 1947, Ghazal, another way that we say the Nazm or poem, and the black verse gained immense popularity. Notable among poets who enjoyed an all India fame were the following. Ghazal is also, you can say, the form of the poem, just like we can say the Nazm, Ghazal, all these are the different form of the poem. And blank verse is also, you can say, the poetry, and it got the importance after the 1947. The most important poets of that time who got the, you can say, fame in his period, they were Miraji, Faiz Ahmad Faiz, Nazar Muhammad Rashid, Ahmad Nadeem Kasmi, Abd Ali Abad, Ihsan Danish, Josh Mali Abadi, Ali Sardar Jafri, Akhtarul Iman, Israrul Haq Mazaj, Firaq Gorakhpuri, Jigar Murad Abadi. Just there are many other, you can say, the poets who did work in the period after 1947. Widespread writing and large-scale massacre, which followed independence, dealt a severe blow to the human and the moral values cherished by Muslims. And in the partition, the riots spreads, the fighting and the quarreling among the people, and there was a great bloodshed when the peoples were moving from one country to the other country, just like from India to Pakistan and Pakistan to India, endowed with highly sensitive and perceptive mind as poets are, they could not understandably remain unaffected by such grim happenings and expressed themselves in the varied form. From that time, the poets also felt all these things and they expressed their feelings. There you can see observations in the form of the poetry in the different way. The search for humanity with all the social, moral, and cultural values that we attribute to it thus became the burning object of the day. Also, large scale writing and killing resulted in massive shifts of population, and within a few months, over 15 million people had crossed the borders, marching from one country to the other country. And 6.5 million people went from here to India, and 5 million people who came from there. So this way, a large number of the people migrated from one place to the other place. The situation was too much crucious. This tragic migration also became the dominant topic and choice them in poetry, with Nasr Kazmi emerging as its major representative poet. On that time, the poets, you can say, felt such type of the conditions, and they express these situation in their poetry also. Dear students, realism, which had dominated the Urdu literary scene after independence, however, began to decrease after 1950, for the poets started realizing that by using realism and objectivism, they had been ignoring the aesthetic and artistic aspect in their creations. Conscious of such shortcoming, the new generation of poets made efforts to make amends. Subjectivism and symbolism thereby emerged as the dominant feature of this period. The poets, you can say the writer, used the symbols as well as the subjects so that they can express the feelings of the people on that time. Dear students, 10 to 12 years after independence, another generation of the poets is seen emerging on the scene, finding that the atmosphere had changed and free expression was frowned upon. They turned toward the trend and concept which dominated the literary world of France, England, and USA. So, dear students, on that time, the poet or the writers who are, you can say, expressing the feelings of the people also did their work on the footing of the other countries. Naya an Urdu quarterly magazine. Naya was a magazine presented in the different forms. These soon won supporters among the new generation of writers and poets and permeated into the both Urdu poetry and the fictions. And there you can say got the famous in the form of the poetry as well as the story. So this magazine you can say was published in that time. Dear students, in 1957, the Sputnik was launched into space and Leonor carried a steady speculation how future developments in the science and technology would affect poetry and literature. Such trends and influence encouraged symbolism, impressionism, existentialism, and psychoanalysis, and in addition led to a change in the styles of the poetry. With the passage of time, with the development in the, you can say, the world in every field like technology, to every sphere of life also you can say change. With this change in the development of a word. So the poetry also changed their style, using symbolic expression and experimenting with newer forms of art. The poet now began to individualize their art. Dear students, there was another noteworthy trend. The new generation of poets, under the influence of Western literature, is seen rejecting all previous concepts and principles. Poetry, they believed, has a specific purpose. It shows man emotions and creates an aesthetic atmosphere. Sooth means quiet, or you can say the calm. That you can say the mankind was very calm or to see the change or the new change, or you can say the sudden change in the poetry for his enjoyment. Therefore, it should not concern itself with promoting objectives or espousing causes. This generation rejects old symbols and creates new symbols by making a conscious effort to present their feelings and emotions by allegories and examples. By giving allegories also like stories and the poems, and you can say okay, on that time the change was you can say started in the literature also. Dear student, personal experience and inner feelings permeates through poetry, and poets are seen fighting the universal phenomenon of decline and decay in moral and spiritual values caused by widespread technical advance and industrialization. So, dear students, this was the you can say a time in which the poetry changed their directions. However, in this attempt, they seems up against heavy odds with the proliferation of dangerous weapons and even lurking fear of war breaking out. The modern poet finds the future insecure and unpredictable, and though the survival of mankind becomes his primary concern, he feels alone, realizing that he has been cut off from his moorings because no organized system of moral values exists. Yet with the you can say development in the nuclear, the everything you can say was feeling the fear, and it was considered that the future of the new generation is insecure in the presence of this heavy weapon. So the poets also you can say realized such type of the fear, and they were you can say able to organize the system of moral values. Dear students, also he is keenly aware of the inadequacy of Urdu language and grammar in meeting the pressing demands of the new era, and is seen making attempts at formulating a new language of poetry. These tendencies and trends completely transformed the diction, style, and the theme of Urdu poetry. So, in this way, we can say some changes were also came in the literature. Dear students, the September 1965 Indian attack on Pakistan had an invigorating influence on Pakistani literature. For reacting spontaneously, the poets extolled the courage and patriotic spirit displayed by the nation in safeguarding its territorial integrity and spiritual values. The reaction was so powerful that beside the leftist and radical elements who had been experimenting with new forms, the rightist poets too responded in expressing nationalistic sentiment. And during the war, 1965, on that time, a literature played an important role to motivate, to produce the spirit of, you can say, fighting in the people so that they can get their target or the goals. Thus, both the traditionalist and the modernist were influenced by this Catholicism. One thing now became apparent: the homeland was a sacred and beloved place to one and all, irrespective of an individual's emotional and electoral learnings. So, dear students, this created a rapport between the poet and the common man because the poets in the creations expressed the national sentiments. A few years later, the experience of the separation of eastern wing of the country due to Indian intervention intensely affected the whole nation. So, on that time, with the partition of the east wing with the west wing, that was also a very, you can say, crucial time on the country. Obviously, not for their work, reflect the deep spiritual pain of a nation suffering from an acute emotional and spiritual distress. Dear students, spiritual and divine aspects now became more pronounced in poetry and other form of Urdu literature, not reciting praise of Holy Prophet ﷺ is known as Naat, gained popularity and appeared in the various forms and style after 1977. A study of journals appearing during these years hardly reveals an issue without a nath. This trend reflects Islamic values and teaching because nath is a, you can say, poem or the form of the poetry in which we praise the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Outstanding among the poets who made new experiments in blank verse after 1965 was N.M. Rashid. By his efforts, he helped Urdu poetry achieve a new heights internationally. A noteworthy development during this period took place in Ghazal. Poets tried out new experiments, widened their canvas, and added to its popularity by a variety of treatment. Dear students, now we will discuss about the drama. What is the drama? Drama is also a play which we can say is presented on the screen or the open air theatre, and drama in literature refers to performance of a written dialogue and stage action. It is a literary genre that allows actors to act out a writer's words directly to an audience. So the, you can say, actors are performing their, you can say, their activities in front of the people directly. Traditionally, drama has never enjoyed a position of eminence either in the literature of the subcontinent or Pakistani literature, and indeed it is Agha Hashar Kashmiri who is credited for being the pioneer in making it popular. And he was the, you can say, pioneer of drama. During the last day of his life, he made Lahore a center of activities and made commendable efforts for its promotion. His good work was carried on by Sayyid Imtiaz Ali Taj, Rafi Peer, Hakim Ahmad Shuja, Mirza Adil, Ishrat Rahmani, and Agha Babar. All these are those who are, you can say, the drama writer. Dear students, thus even before independence, Lahore became a great center where theatrical companies, notably the Little Theatre Group, Punjab Dramatic League, and the Open Air Theatre, made sustained attempt to popularize drama. So these were three, you can say, the organizations, or you can say the companies who are playing the dramas, presenting the dramas for the enjoyment of the people in the different, you can say, the way. But the actors are playing there openly in front of the people. Dear students, after independence, the main trend among playwrights was to present socio-political as these affected the people. Aga Babar did this admirably in his play Ceasefire, Khaja Moinuddin in Sukut Hyderabad. So these were also the two, you can say, the plays which were, you can say, presented Ceasefire and Sukute Hyderabad, and they were written by these two people. Agha Babar, he wrote Ceasefire, and Khaja Moinuddin, he wrote Sukute Hyderabad. Like other fine arts, drama develops and flourishes in a free atmosphere. Viewers are expected to display a spirit of tolerance and, in addition, should have the good sense to laugh even at their own weakness when presented before them by dramatists. Modern drama owes much to the efforts of a number of devoted artists, notably Khwaja Moinuddin, who popularized it with his humors and flexible dialogues, Aga Babar, who worked with the Little Theatre Group in Rawalpindi, and Kamal Ahmed Rizvi, who by his painstaking efforts has made a name for himself. These were those people who, you can say, presented humors and the, you can say, uh, very, you can say, a good presentation in the, you can say, their own dramas. However, Ali Ahmed in a way has done a remarkable job. He has made drama popular and, in addition, groomed newcomer in the art. Himself a style writer and producer, he has a number of plays based on social consciousness and social problems to his credit. Dear students, plays stayed during the last 10 or 15 years were mostly comedies, and they were full of humor. And meanwhile, a few serious plays were staked, with the exception of Radio Pakistan, which ably utilized the services of talented writers and artists for their presentation. Indeed, the popularity for the one act plays owes much to the radio. Some of the well known writers of radio plays are Salim Ahmad, Ashir Bhatt, Intisar Hussain, Mirza Adib, Banu Qudsiya, Anwar Jalal, and Basit Salim, among others. So these are the people who wrote the dramas for they are presented for in the radios also, as well as in open air theater, or you can say directly in front of the people. Dear student, versified plays too were presented off and on from the radio. but these failed to gain popularity among the listeners because on the radio they can only listen, not to see the activities of the artist. Such plays were mostly contributed by Ahmad Nadeem Kasmi, Abd Ali Abad, Muhammad Safdar, Mir, Aziz Ahmad, Madani, Yusuf Zafar, Razi Tirmizi, and Ilyas Ashki. Radio Pakistan thus played a leading role in introducing and encouraging modern trend in drama. Dear students, formally, then these were not too much advanced means of the communication. All these things were presented on the radio. So on that time, people have some type of the interest in these dramas, and they you can see this on the radio. But with the passage of time, all these things make the developments, and now you can see also everything in front of you. Dear students, drama was still going through various stages of the development when television was introduced in Pakistan. This new medium soon covered the entire country and with regular presentations greatly helped in the development of this art. At present, few plays are staged, but these are televised regularly. In particular, long serials enjoy the tremendous popularity with the viewers and have added new dimension to the drama. Sometimes these plays are you can see presented in the form of episode 1, 2, 3, 4, and some dramas you can see played for a long period. TV presentations combine the techniques of stage production with that of a film and therefore have greater appeal than the other two. Pakistan television has produced a number of outstanding plays with them with theme varying from humorous and satirical presentations to the serious problems, while historical dramas rival in popularity with the romantic and mysterious. So these dramas are presented to give the lessons to the people. Some are very serious and some dramas have, you can say, a very good lesson. If you will act upon these things, then you can get the nourishment in your, you can say, moral activities. These students, authors, and producers have also tried successfully to focus attention and awaken people public moral sense against social evils. Successfully plays writers for TV include Abdul Ali, Salim Ahmad, Ashfaq Ahmad, Banu Qudsiya, Hamid Kashmiri, Amjad Islam Amjad, Jamil Malik, Fatma Suraya, Athar Shah Khan, Kamal Ahmad Rizvi, and Rahat Kazmi. Dear students, these are those people who wrote the dramas, and some are also played dramas and performed their activities in the form of drama. Dear students, this is the end of the topic today. Here is a homework for you. Write the short question. What was impact of 1965 war on literature of Pakistan? Number two, name any five renowned Urdu poets gained all India fame. Number three, what is Naat? Number four, how did drama develop after emergence of Pakistan? Dear students, thank you for watching the lecture today.